Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bow and Arrow Tarot. And today's pick a card, your next lover, who, when, and how. I love doing this pick a card reading because we're going to take a look at your next lover, your possible next lover coming into your life, what kind of person they are, what kind of energy they resonate with, how they might come into your life. And we're going to take a look at timing. Remember, these messages, they're timeless, so they find you whenever you are meant to receive them. As always, take a moment to just ground yourself, relax, take a deep breath, and allow your intuition to draw you to the pile that calls to you the most. Pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. Now, if you need another moment, this is the perfect time to pause the video, and when you're ready, you can go straight to your reading at the timestamps below. So let's just get started with the reading for pile number 1. Welcome to the reading for pile number 1 for today's pick a card, your next lover. So let's just jump right into it. What is their archetype? We're dealing with the destroyer. Wow, this is a powerful archetype, and we are going to go deep into all of this. What energy are they bringing? 6 of Wands, a victory, as well as 3 of Swords. Wow, a betrayal, a victory over a betrayal. Definitely a healing stage for this person. How do they come into your life? Dating. There's a dating situation going on here. What energy is surrounding this? The Hanged Man, particular outlook, can be quite stubborn, and Emperor energy. So this is the divine masculine energy coming in. Is also the card for Aries. What's the timing on this relationship? A year from now. Wow. Now that seems sometimes like a long time off, right? But we're going to go deeper because oftentimes this timing will come out in a relationship that's already developing. Now we have spirits of the dwelling place and spirit of connections, fated meeting, soulmate, divine counterpart, dwelling place, home, structure, beautiful energy with these spirits here of darkness and light, a spirit of sort of like a deep connection happening here. We are going to go much deeper. We're going to go with clarifiers and pull more cards. But for now, let's just jump right into the destroyer. So this is a really powerful archetype that this next lover is resonating with. The destroyer, this is someone who oftentimes this is the work that is necessary, right? This is the work that nobody wants to do. Nobody ever wants to be, or it's very rare that you find someone willing to tear everything down, willing to make the decision that is necessary oftentimes to destroy something that needs to sort of crumble, right? This is the necessary energy that comes in when you have stagnation, right? And so this person, this next lover, resonating at their core with the destroyer is definitely going to be a rebel. This is someone who is always willing to sort of face a hard reality. They're willing to make the difficult choice. It depends on where they come from, though, right? So we want to make sure that this individual is resonating from a place of love and progress, right? Because the destruction of stagnation is difficult but necessary. But you don't want, the dark shadow of this energy, which is somebody who just continues to cause division and sow destruction just for chaos' sake. Now, let's go forward. 6 of Wands and 3 of Swords. So this person has really experienced, I believe, a deep heartache. And yet right now they're coming out of sort of a victory from that. I don't feel toxicity here. This person, right away, I'm feeling that they have had to embody destroyer energy because they've had to deal with a betrayal. They've had to deal with a scenario of a heartache where somebody has either lied or deceived them in some way. Death just flipped over. There it is. And it feels strongly to me like they definitely resonated with that necessary energy of the destroyer where they were willing to shut something down instead of continuing in a difficult relationship, a toxic relationship, a relationship that involved deception and betrayal. And now they're having their victory from it. Death just flipped over as I started to shuffle our clarifiers because they are absolutely in a stage of transition here where they're letting go. Something has, permanently ended in their lives. And certainly that's a particular stage. I feel like it was a relationship. And so your next lover, this is what they're coming from when they come into your life, right? They're coming in on the heels of a victory over a very difficult period of healing from a heartache. Let's get another card, a betrayal. Knight of Swords. Yeah, they really had to actively work on cutting ties along with that death card. I'm going to bring that out again. That is the card for Scorpio in tarot. Some of you may be dealing with Scorpios. We're going to see when we pull the zodiac runes at the end. Knight of Swords, yeah, they really had to work hard. This person may have had to cut ties with friends because of this ending, because of this situation. They may have had to cut ties with friends. They may have had to sort of be on their own and kind of fight for their sort of own dignity in a way. You know how it goes sometimes. When there's third party energy, when there's deception and betrayal, there's also always, the gossip train, or there's people who are going to take sides. And it just feels here like this person went through a lot. And they had to be very active and very clear. The Knight of Swords is very clear mentally, very logical, very clever, very vocal. A lot of communication here with this person. They had to communicate to people that, look, I'm not here for it. I'd rather cut. Very difficult time, and yet they embodied the destroyer. So we love this kind of energy about this person. Trust me, we're going to get into how you meet them and how your connection and more energy about you. But first, let's take a look at this lover. I want to see what kind of court card energy this person is resonating with. Very fiery, but just very principled person. Queen of Wands. Wow, very experienced, right? Now, doesn't matter about gender, but the Queen of Wands is very wise, very experienced, but she can be the one that is a little bit over emotional, right? Or over passionate. She can get emotionally involved in the things that she feels passionate about. And so, this tracks with this individual. They definitely are the type of person who really goes, they go hard for someone. They love hard. They play hard. And they're very wise, fiery, and strong, but yet that sort of big heart that they have that resonates with the Queen of Wands is exactly the type of heart that can be deceived, that can be hurt, right? And so what they've done recently to get away from all of that is why they come in with a nice victory. So this is the energy that you're dealing with this lover. Someone who's done work, who's coming in on the heels of understanding a toxic situation, has gotten themselves out of that toxic situation, done the work, and feels quite emotionally healthy. So now let's get into, how do you find this person? Dating, just a little dating. I think it starts very harmless, right? And again, that's why we have a year from now. We're going to go to it. But yeah, it feels to me like how you come to meet this person is that it starts with just dating, right? Perhaps friends who may set you up. I'm going to get more clarifiers and see. Hanged Man and Emperor. This is interesting. Somebody, the hangman is kind of very stubborn, can oftentimes get a little stuck in their ways. And then we have this emperor energy. I feel like emperor is someone in your life who feels, who you really respect, right? Who has quite a bit of authority in a way, not over you, but you trust what they have to say. And it feels to me like you may here with this stuck energy, let's go a little bit deeper, but you may have for a long time, not entertained the thought of dating. Let's see more. Yeah, moon energy, very unsure. Feeling very unsure about dating or being in a love connection. Felt a little scary for you. Now, this pick a card is all about your lover. So we're not going to dive too deep into your sort of situation that you may be going through, but this is going to resonate differently for all of you. But underneath of this meeting with this person is that there was a general vibe of, not wanting to stick your toe into the sort of active dating or actively looking for a love connection for whatever reason. Definitely stuck in a way for some of you. It may have been as a result of a past relationship or just where you are. You may have just given up. Sometimes it's time. Trust me, I've been through all stages, but more than anything, just a little bit of uncertainty. And Ace of Cups, there is a strong love here. Wow. Ace of Cups, Emperor. Yeah, I feel like this person, this Emperor is somebody who really has a lot of love for you, right? And this person is kind of let you know, hey, it's time to open up. It's time to get out of this stuck position, right? And start dating. And this is kind of the catalyst it feels here for how you allow room for this person to come into your life. I want to pull another card, the Jupiter card, to see as well. How exactly, what kind of energy we might feel. Ooh, Jupiter and Scorpio and dating. So this person, not only are they going to be dating you, but they're very intentional. I think they almost spot you first, right? So the attraction comes from their point of view first. It feels to me with that Jupiter and Scorpio energy, it does say manipulation, but in this case, we're talking about really trying to control the outcome. That's a very Scorpionic energy. This person, along with that Queen of Wands, they're already quite fiery and a little bit, I don't want to say domineering, but they're the ones who want to be, they're alpha. We're dealing with alpha energy here. So they're going to be the type of person who really leads the dating. They probably have a whole strategy for how they're going to get into more than just dating. Because I think that your next lover is, primed to not just be a lover, to be a proper sort of relationship, right? And that's what it feels like to me here. So I want to know, I'm going to pull today your animal spirit through all of this. What kind of energy your animal spirit is going to bring to this. Because, again, it feels like you've come out of maybe a bit of a hiatus in love. And this Emperor here, again, is someone, as I said, who has a lot of love for you, always has unending sort of love for you. Could be a relative or very, very close friend, right? Who's kind of resonates certainly with that divine masculine energy. Who's kind of, they have that alpha masculine. They're very direct. Again, Aries energy here. They're the ones who are kind of like, look, it's time for you to start dating. The crow comes in. This is beautiful. The crow is the spirit of messages and communication. So throughout this period, I think something has shifted for you that allows this next lover to come in. And it's also going to really impact how they come in, because you're going to be getting a lot of omens, a lot of messages, signs. You may be seeing certain numbers. You may be seeing you may be seeing your favorite number over and over, your lucky numbers over and over. You may be hearing certain phrases or songs, or you may be reminded of certain memories. These are the type of things that are embodied when you resonate with spirit of the crow. It means that it's air energy, and it means that during this period, you are really going to be open to spirit communicating with you. Because there's some divine timing at play here. You're kind of opening up right at the perfect time for your next lover to come in. So this person who comes in, how they come to you has as much to do with your kind of getting to a place where you're ready, where you're very much ready for them to come in, and where you've also had a lot of reaffirmation. You've continued to get this and you probably, if you're resonating with this, there may have been times where you're like, wow, that's so strange. I just keep seeing that number. Or every time I look at the clock, it's, some fashion or some combination of, 123 or 1111 or 444. These are the type of little messages, all of these type of things. It's that wide open communication that you have when you resonate with that crow animal spirit. Such a mystical animal spirit to begin with. Right? And so this is how your person comes in. I want to get a little bit more clarifying, though, on that dating and that emperor. Who is this person who's going to be? Because I want to know a little bit more about how this dating starts out, right? Like, we can say that they're coming in through dating, but, let's see a little bit more. Looking back and missing someone, and then Six of Cups. Wow. So definitely, Definitely, I will say that part of the reason that you have not been, maybe looking towards love is that you yourself have been missing someone, or there was a relationship that you have still kind of been looking at and focused on in the past. It's just kind of been a blockage to you moving forward. But that Six of Cups is there, and it's like there's really... I will say that there's a good friend, someone you have a long history and a lot of affection and trust and loyalty with, who kind of brings you right out of this. Immediately when I saw the Six of Cups come out, I heard, I was feeling that a friend of yours may call up and invite you on something like a double date, or they may invite you somewhere right away. It just feels like right at the perfect time where you were perhaps even thinking about the past and kind of languishing in that space, right? That kind of cut off space, and a little bit of fear of moving forward, fear of maybe being hurt again, or maybe having to miss someone again. This person who you really, really have a lot of history and strong friendship with comes in out of love, and they kind of like call you up and let you know about something. It's some event, some activity, some dating, meet up, some double date type of let's have fun scenario. Comes off very, very innocently. And all of this is how this next lover comes into your life. So it starts off very, very innocently. But again, as I said, I feel like they fall for you quite hard, quite quickly, early on. So let's move on to the timing, because this moves nicely into the timing a year from now. So it takes almost a year, I think, for you and them, or within this next year, for you to them and them to resonate up to this like true lovers connection, in a sense that just the two of you. This is not to say that you are not this next lover of yours is not in your life already, or you are not already dating them, or will be dating them very shortly. But I feel like Spirit is letting you know that it will take about a year for it to resonate up to what? A soulmate connection where the two of you say, oh, wow, because this is a fated meeting, soulmate, divine counterpart. And we have spirit of the dwelling place, home, structure, foundation. So, yeah, this is a nice, like, long courtship type deal, right? That's what it feels like to me here. Like, the two of you, if you're coming to this reading now, you may already have gone on this date, or you may be really right now in the middle of this space here where you're literally beginning to have these conversations. Your friend may have contacted you, or may be contacting you very, very shortly, within the next few days, a week, right? This is all kind of happening for you. Your person has already dealt with all of this, and they come in with some really interesting history. I don't feel like it's baggage, because they have a victory. And they have that Queen of Wands. This person has been through a lot, and they know how to they know how to sort of internalize, interpret their experience, and sort of absorb it into their own history and move on. They have a lot of emotional intelligence. They have a lot of strength, right? And they have a lot of wisdom. So, but of course, that doesn't stop anyone from being hurt. And they have definitely gone through a very difficult period. But this doesn't come as baggage, it seems like to me. It comes just more as experience, right? Again, and with that destroyer energy as well, I wanted to say that I really do also get the strong feeling here that this person is really going to shake up your life as well. There may be a lot more other areas in your life that hangman energy is there, that stagnation is there, and this person, as the destroyer at heart and as your next lover, is someone who's going to really help you to shake all of that up, really sort of instigate or put a bit of a flame underneath of all of that. The two of you really do come together nicely in terms of soulmate divine energy, because you learn so much from each other. And this destroyer energy is so, I want to say, almost revitalizing for you. It feels like, like your whole life becomes revitalized. And it's a very long, beautiful courtship that happens. Now, Jupiter and Scorpio, remember that it does say manipulation. This person, again, is alpha as hell. So they're going to be, as I say, already looking to the future and, trying to woo you. It feels very much like a courtship. It feels like something that starts off as dating, but very quickly turns into courtship that lasts a while. Okay, so now, I love this section because now's the time we're going to pull out the zodiac signs to see what kind of zodiac energy you might be dealing with. As I said, we saw Aries show up. We've seen Scorpio show up. So what do we have? First one, Aquarius. Some of you may be dealing with an Aquarius. Put that right there. Some of you are dealing with that Gemini, another air energy. Some of you are dealing with a Leo, fire. All right, and we have one more. And some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius. So 2 fire and 2 air. Aquarius, Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius. No Aries or Scorpio showed up, but that's okay. We take it as it comes. This is the end of your message for pile number 1. I really do hope it resonated. This was a deep dive into your next lover, who, when, and how. Now, if you feel called to stay for pile number 2, let's get started. Welcome to the reading for pile number 2. Pick a card, your next lover. We're going to jump right into it. Your next lover is the poet. Oh, I love the poet. Someone who's very good with their words and their communication, romantic, Eight of Wands, a lot of energy and communication happening. Right away, I feel like this person may indeed even have a social presence. Queen of Pentacles comes in. Definitely somebody who's building a legacy. So, how do they come into your life? Investment. So, time invested. There is some time that the two of you spend together. And this leads to a love connection, another Queen of Pentacles. So the two of you definitely share a profession. I'm going to say right away. Six of Swords here, moving away from some turmoil to peace. And what does Spirit say for timing? Wow, within the next few weeks. Oh my goodness. All right, we love that. And spirits of darkness and light, we have Spirit of the Christ, which is all about unconditional love, forgiveness, reconciliation. Masculine spirit is their action, power, and dominance. Now, don't forget, we are going to go much deeper with clarifiers and a lot of oracles, as well as some animal spirits and zodiac runes. But for now, let's just jump right into who is this person they resonate with. The poet archetype. The poet, wow, this is someone who it has such a way with words, is able to put life into such perspective, right? The poet brings art and brings a deeper level of sort of understanding. You know, poetry allows us to look at situations from very different angles and different feelings and different emotions and viewpoints and aspects. There's a sense of romance, right, when it comes to the poet, right? I think that's the story of Cyrano de Bergerac, right? So, yeah, the poet is a lovely energy. I feel right away that this person is an artist. This person is someone who certainly uses their words. They are the poet in a very literal sense. I feel like you may even be dealing with a writer or someone who is an artist in a communicative way, in a way of communication. Eight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. This person is also in the middle of sort of building their empire. They have a lot of people around them, right? You're dealing with someone who has a lot of people who want their time, their energy, they're around them. There's right away a feeling here of being pulled. Not necessarily in a bad way, but there's a feeling here that this person either is extremely busy with their career or they have a social presence that makes them very busy. They are not only resonating with a poet energy as in the type of person they are, but I feel like this has a huge thing to do with their career or what type of work that they do. We're going to go much deeper because I love how we have Queen of Pentacles on this aspect of the reading, which is much more to do with you, but we'll get into that. I want to know a little bit more about this Eight of Wands. Wow, definitely have, and we have Hanged Man energy. Interesting. So this is someone who has authority when it comes to the written word, the spoken word. King of Swords is air and definitely fire. King of Swords is also all about someone who is very logical, very clear, can communicate very, very well, is extremely honest, has a deep sense of logic and understanding and reasoning. And yet we also have Hangman energy here. There is something here about this individual. It feels to me like they are looked at as perhaps an authority figure in their field. Definitely people come to them for advice or guidance or work. Again, it speaks to a level of success that this person has with their career. And yet at the same time, they have a very staunch, principled position that they're unwilling to move from. You might be dealing with someone who's a bit of a rebel, right? Someone who is a bit I don't know, subversive comes to mind to a degree, but somebody who's just unwilling to move with the tide. They have a very specific position, outlook on life, and yet at the same time, they do still command a lot of authority and respect. Very honest individual. And so, yeah, right now they're at a period where they have a lot going on. Eight of Wands, everything's moving very, very fast. I want to know what kind of court card they're resonating with. Wow, we have King of Swords, Queen of Swords. So interesting. They already came in, and then we have the Queen of Swords as well. So everything about this person speaks of notoriety, public attention even. No matter if it's on a large scale, small scale, it could just be within their small community, in their town, whatever the case may be. But this person is someone who is known for their work, even literally their poetry, their written word, their communication, their works, everything and anything to do with the words that they speak, maybe the theories that they have, all of those types of things. Definitely someone who is, at a certain level in their profession. It just screams of that. And so let's go a little bit deeper. I'd like to know now, how do they come to you? Well, we have invest. And this is time spent together. And this is the feeling that I got immediately when I laid the spread, is that the two of you share in the same career. It almost feels as though we see right away. Let me get right away to it. Queen of Pentacles, Six of Swords. I almost feel like you may be this person, you may be working with them, alongside of them. You may be assisting them in some way, or they are, I don't know. I feel assisting, but you both are in the same level almost, right? But there is something that you're able to provide to them to help them through this period right now where they're going through a lot of attention. So there is some way you're able to assist them, but it's not like you are their assistant, right? It's almost as if you're an advisor. You're advising them, because there's some aspect of this career, this field, this work that the two of you share, that you understand that they don't necessarily understand. There may be a feeling here. Let me get some more clarifiers. I almost feel like you may be the one who understands the emotional component a bit more, and this person comes across a little bit more hard line. They're very logical, very specific. They may even be in the field of science or something like that, or they may just be, the way they carry themselves, they're very stubborn, right? They're very stubborn. Let's see what this connection is. Hermit energy, interesting. And Ace of Wands, a new beginning and Hermit. They may be very used to being on their own, doing things their own way, right? And they just can't sustain that anymore. Hermit, by the way, is the card in tarot for Virgo. So you may have some Virgo energy here. But yeah, this person has, in a lot of ways, they've been very much a loner, right? They may have notoriety and authority in their field, and at the same time have been one of these type of people who works alone, secluded, not quite a recluse, but, someone who's not out in the limelight, but their work is out there. Everybody knows their work, right? Or people are wanting a piece of their work and time. So they resonate strongly with that hermit, and that hermit is what connects the two of you. So there's something about that Ace of Wands is lovely. There's something about the two of you coming together with your meeting. You've met in a way that was very powerful. I think that the two of you may have even met as a result of something like a one-off, right? A one-off dinner, a one-off symposium, or a one-off meeting, or one-off something to do with the two of you. And it was immediately, or even maybe the beginning of a project. The two of you may have embarked on the same project or work, right? And this started with this Ace of Wands. Both of you feeling very strongly about the work, but then immediately the fire is there. There is a spark between the two of you. And it begins very much in a professional way, that a time investment is how the two of you come together. And again, that feeling here, I'm going to pull our Jupiter card, that feeling here that what the component that you bring to them that is really helpful to them is the component of understanding what it's like to work with others. The two of you are both building sort of an empire, as it were, or certainly the two of you with two Queen of Pentacles. Wow. You know, the two of you definitely are building the same type of, I want to say, dream or scale. You're at the same scale, right? You're both very accomplished. You both know what it's like to experience success, right? But there is a difference here that you are bringing to sort of help them deal with all of this exposure. What do we have? Yeah, Jupiter in Aries. Enterprise, that's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's that investment. And I love the way these two cards look together. Isn't that beautiful? Enterprise, Jupiter and Aries. This is exactly what I mean about the way the two of you come together. It's through an enterprise that you embark in together. And it's new. Aries energy, it's new, it's innovative, right? It's pioneering. It's something very, very different. And this is what has brought the two of you together. This new, different thing, Ace of Wands, this new idea, this new passion, passion project together. And yet, Six of Swords is there as well. I want to talk about that. A feeling of getting away from all the hustle and bustle to calmer waters. This is what you bring, I feel like, to this situation. And certainly, this is part and parcel of this time that the two of you are kind of investing into each other, into this project. But through all of this, love blossoms, right? There is a love blossoming that happens. Let me pull a couple more cards for that invest. Let me see if I can get a little bit more specific on this enterprise. See if there's more here. It's very much like you working next to each other. Very similar people, but bringing different things. Yeah, Page of Swords, that novice. Give me one more. And Four of Pentacles. Yeah, trying to maintain stability through the project, but both of you being quite new. The both of you are very experienced. You know your field. Certainly your person is experienced, as I said, and have authority. But something about this new enterprise is very new for both of you. And so you're only just finding your confidence now, Page of Swords energy. So it's interesting. The two of you almost start new together in something, and yet at the same time bringing your own sense of wealth and experience, your own wealth of experience, your own wealth of experience. Four of Pentacles is there. More importantly, one of the things that binds the two of you is protection of this project, right? You're definitely, there's a sense here that you definitely want to protect the stability of this enterprise. What you're doing, what the two of you are doing is very new. And through all of this working together, eventually this person ends up sort of coming into your life as your next lover, right? And I just feel like it's really kind of unexpected. I want to get out your animal spirit during this period to see, because it's so lovely that there's two Queen of Pentacles. It's just such a reaffirmation that you definitely, your next lover is someone who's very much going to be on the same level as you. Oftentimes when we have love connections with people, sometimes we're at different levels when it comes to, stability, financial stability, lifestyle, accessibility, etc. The two of you really come in equal, right? Equal in financial independence and equal in sort of authority and respect, right? So it's a really sort of power duo energy. What kind of animal spirit do we have here? Wow, the gazelle. Interesting. So the gazelle is what you're resonating with throughout all of this. The gazelle is fire, but the gazelle is grace under pressure, right? That's the best way to describe this animal spirit. And so, again, everything that I was feeling earlier, something about this project, and definitely all of the energy that's the pressure, the communication, a lot of phones are ringing, emails are being sent, that type of energy. People are wanting to talk to you. All of that is happening as part of this person's sort of situation right now. That all comes into this project as well. And again, protecting the project, safeguarding the project, safeguarding the stability of it. And what you resonate through all of that is just maintaining such a sense of grace under all of this pressure. And again, that's the aspect that I feel like you are bringing here to this that also helps. I want to say it's what drives the sort of the blossoming of love here, because I think it feels like certainly that this person, your poet, really falls in love with this ability of you to be able to handle all of this pressure that is coming in, that they themselves, this person's not really great at that. They're very straight and to the point. They're very logical. They bring a lot of experience, right, to the task and to the project, right? They're not very good at dealing with all of the people calling and wanting to speak to them. They're not very good with, the multitasking or the finesse of it all, the finesse of how to talk to different people under stress. You, however, are bringing this ability to sort of handle all of these things with that gazelle energy. No matter how much it feels like everything is overwhelming and there's a lot of demands on the both of you on this project, the time that you're spending together, the investment that the two of you are making together in your time together, through all of that, you're the one who's really holding things up and knowing what to do at the right moment. And this is one of the things that really helps your poet, your next lover. And also, it's one of the things that really gets them to fall in love with you. Now, what timing are we talking about? Well, within the next few weeks, if it hasn't happened already. As I said at the beginning of this pick a card, these messages are timeless. So whenever you come to these messages, they find you when you're ready. And so from the moment that you've come to this reading will be within the next few weeks. Now, you may have already met this person. You may already be in the project with them, but it's within the next few weeks that it already begins. Right, I would say the sort of intimacy of it all, the sort of intimate nature of the way the two of you work together, the understanding, the deepening of the understanding and what the two of you can do together happens very, very quickly. And when it turns into an actual lover scenario, well, that's how quickly you want that to happen. Spirit, let's talk about spirit of darkness and light. Yeah, bringing that Christ spirit. And that masculine spirit, so unconditional love. Christ spirit is unconditional love. It is also forgiveness, reconciliation. I don't feel like this is a reconciliation or an X, but we are talking about unconditional love and understanding and masculine energy, a lot of action. And this is what I say I felt here is that, yes, there's a lot of action. There's a lot of dominance and power around this project. This may be a very high-level project. There may be a lot of money involved, a lot of people. There may be a lot of risk involved. As I said right away from the beginning of the reading, I felt like there was a sense of popularity or sort of people, this is something that, people know about, right? There's a popularity here. This is not happening sort of on a small scale in the shadows. Whatever this project is, it's quite big in your circle, whatever that circle size is. But there is a level here of people knowing, what celebrity, a level of sort of a kind of celebrity or a kind of knowing, right, that everybody knows about. So you have to take care. So there's a lot of this kind of action energy around, a lot of movement, a lot of communication. And through it all, love definitely sparks. So let's go ahead and pull out the zodiacs. We're going to see what kind of zodiac signs you're resonating with on this reading. Some of you are dealing with a Taurus. Wow. Some of you are dealing with a Capricorn. More earth energy, strong earth energy. That can resonate with that, that success. Or Queen of Pentacles, twice, strong earth, right? And here we have Virgo, right? So all three earth signs show up. This is definitely a situation of a lot of abundance, and then we have water sign of Pisces. Yeah, 3 all earth and 2 Queen of Pentacles. You're definitely dealing with a situation here of a lot of money, a lot of abundance, a lot of status, physical wealth is a part of this whole thing. But again, the most important, your next lover, who, when, and how. This is a quite exciting story and definitely quite exciting. I hope you resonated with it. This is the end of the message I have for pile number 2. Now, if you feel called to stay with me for pile number 3, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the reading for pile number 3 for the Pick a Card, Your Next Lover. We're going to jump right in. What kind of archetype is this person? The creator. Wow. Someone who is very artistic, very capable. We have High Priestess energy. Definitely someone who's tapping into their inner voice, their inner intuition. 2 of Pentacles. Very busy, very active right now. We're going to go much deeper with clarifiers. How do they come into your connection? Physical intimacy. Now, this is an interesting card. It generally can indicate someone that you already know. 4 of Swords. Taking a moment back to see what your next step may be. We have, and the moon. Wow, a lot of uncertainty here. This is quite interesting. Right away, I'm going to tell you, this feels like you already know this person. What's the timing? Within the next few weeks. Angels say within the next few weeks. And your spirits? Spirit of the fly and spirit of the werewolf. Stagnation, decay, and rot. Wild, untamed desire for a werewolf spirit. All right. This is a very interesting read. We are definitely going to go a lot deeper with our clarifying cards, our oracles and animal spirits, and our zodiacs at the end. But for now, let's just jump right into who is this person? They're the creator. Now, this is a really lovely archetype. This is someone who just is imbued with creativity and the ability to find something, anything where oftentimes other people don't see anything is there. For instance, this is the type of person that can create something out of nothing. They can see the best out of any situation, even a situation that may be empty. This is the type of person that can take an empty, torn down barn and see the potential and immediately imagine what creative things they could do. At the very heart of the creator archetype is that ability that, oftentimes when you don't have all of the tools around you and everything that you can pick from to put something together, to put a piece of creation or piece of art together, it's at those times where you don't have everything at your fingertips that the true creative archetype resonates and is able to find creative ways to make something happen, to make something grow, to make something bloom. So at the very heart, this is someone who is very sort of adaptable, right? someone who's very resilient, very resourceful, and always for the aim of creating something, right? Something new, bringing something into being. It's a beautiful spirit. It's a beautiful archetype spirit. High Priestess and Two of Pentacles. And right now, this person is also really resonating with their deep intuitive spirit. So something is speaking to them, either their higher spirit, their angels, their ancestors, their guardians, but they are right now tapping into a deeper voice and they're following it. Two of Pentacles, there's a lot of activity, a lot of flux, a lot of up and downs, very physical, maybe in the nature of their work or their environment. Right now, let's begin to start shuffling our clarifying. Right now, it almost feels as though your person may be going through a lot of physical change. They may be changing jobs or where they live, or they may be having to juggle multiple jobs. And they're doing the best they can with it, right? Now, again, very resourceful, someone who resonates with that creator energy. So they're going to, at difficult times, they're going to be able to handle it. That resourcefulness is going to allow them to be able to juggle all of these different tasks, responsibilities that they have, but they're definitely following spirit. So let's say a little bit more. Seven of Cups and Four of Pentacles. Wow. So they are, definitely in the middle of trying to hold on to their stability, their financial stability. Yeah. But at the same time, they know what they want to do. This is almost starving artist energy, right? Starving artist, starving creator energy. This is somebody, they know what they truly desire, but they have to pay the bills at the same time. And so, yeah, they're busy with both of it, right? And they're trying to find the right way, but specifically with the fact that they're resonating deeper with their High Priestess energy. They are digging deep into their inner voice and trying to follow their heart. And at the same time, maintain. So let's go ahead. I'm curious. With that creator spirit, and again, if I look ahead, how the two of you come into this connection of love or physical intimacy often shows up in my readings when you already have a connection with this person. You're already, let's say, friends with them. You know them. You already have some kind of communication connection with them, but it resonates. It resonates into a lover situation because of physical intimacy that you share at some point, right? And so it does feel like to me, you know this person. You already know someone in your life who's probably right now they're exactly going through that, right? They're going through difficult times. They may be having some trouble paying the bills. They may be trying to get a bunch of odd jobs while they're pursuing their art and their creative work. They may be doing a lot of odd jobs, side jobs that they're juggling to keep everything up. What kind of court card are we dealing with? Princess of Swords. Interesting. The same as the Page of Swords. The Princess of Swords is quite a novice. She's quite new. She's just now getting her footing and her confidence coming in. She's just now beginning to learn how to see with clarity and to not be sort of overwhelmed by doubt. It's the first stage of sort of developing your strength and your confidence. This can come in with that High Priestess as well. This person is really right now digging deep into that energy of beginning to have more confidence in other areas of their life, maybe even be a bit more active, a bit more sort of proactive even. I feel a sensitivity here, right? With this creator archetype and this like Seven of Cups, this is someone who loves to dream. They have a lot of ideas and, hopes, dreams, again, the creator archetype, it doesn't have to be an artist. Somebody can resonate with this archetype and just be very good at solving or fixing or, creating a solution where seemingly there isn't one, right? That's really at the heart of it. But for this person, for this lover, I do feel like they are also an artist, very sensitive. They have very deep desires. They have big goals of what they want to do. And yet they're also kind of at the beginning stages of finding their confidence and finding a way to be able to pay their bills and be able to do what they do. And again, you know who this person is. So let's go on to physical intimacy, right? It's up for discussion, right? Healthy discussion, right? Doing it for the right reasons, right? Connecting, right? So again, for my readings, this oracle card generally will show up when something has occurred. Some kind of experience, activity, or event, or timing, maybe divine timing, or just, one thing leads to another. And suddenly, what was a friendship where, there were boundaries, all of a sudden sort of spills all over into a romantic physical connection. And Four of Swords, moon energy follows right behind it. There's a pullback. So for some of you, this is going to happen if it hasn't happened already. And right away, there's this feeling of like, hang on a second, let me pull back. I don't want to make any decisions. Let me get that Four of Swords so you can see him laying there. I don't want to make any decisions. Let me just, put the brakes on this. The moon is there. There's a feeling of uncertainty, right? A little bit of nervousness. Oh my gosh, what kind of territory have we allowed ourselves to slip into, right? I want to know a little bit more. Let's go a little bit deeper. I'm so curious. I want to know a little bit more about this High Priestess, first of all, before. I'm going to find a line here. King of Wands. They have a vision. They do have a vision. You may be dealing with somebody who tends to be a little bit grandiose. They tend to have a vision that, they may be thinking a little bit bigger than where they're at. Sometimes they can be a little bit unrealistic with what they want or desire, and it can cause some issues. What do we have? Two of Cups. There is a love connection here. And Emperor energy. Wow. Oh, wow. There is a love connection here. And yet there's Emperor energy, somebody watching over. The two of you care about each other, but there's somebody else there. That Emperor is there. There's somebody else there that is kind of, I don't know if they're standing in the way or blocking, but they're kind of domineering over the situation here. This may be somebody who, because of their influence or their authority, right, over either this person or you or both of you, right, has kind of been a blockage. Just, again, the two of you know each other. But Two of Cups, there's always been a sense of connection, right? Of feeling. I think the two of you, when you get together, you have that physical intimacy. It's almost going to be a bit of a relief. Maybe that this Emperor could very well be an authority figure, either something to do with sort of your work, or feels more like family, though. I'm going to be honest with you. It really feels like either you or your person has like a father figure or a strong masculine energy in their life that's very domineering and kind of is the one who kind of puts the kibosh on, you know what I mean? May put the kibosh in certain relationships. There may be a sense here of someone in the family or someone of authority not feeling like this is a good enough match or a connection. There is some interference here from someone who is older, has some kind of strength or power over, it almost feels like it's over your person. Could be over you too. And so the two of you hooking up with each other is almost like taboo or not accepted in some kind of way, or, it's territory that the two of you are very unsure about, right? So let me pull out the Jupiter card to see what this next step, this connection, this physical intimacy, how does it, maybe we can get a little bit deeper into how it actually comes about. Jupiter in Aquarius, innovation. Yeah, it's almost like the two of you have to sneak around and figure out, like, clever ways to be together. That's how it comes about, This almost feels like a forbidden love scenario. Seriously. It almost feels like a forbidden love scenario, and this emperor is the one who's forbidden it. It's somewhere this person, in the two of you, in the lives of both of you, is this blockage here, and you're just unsure, very unsure of, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen if we do it anyway. You find really innovative ways to get around it. Jupiter in Aquarius, it just indicates that something comes up that's really sort of out of the ordinary. And it leads to the two of you being together in a situation where one thing literally leads to the next. And boom, there you have finally your physical intimacy, the physical sort of reaffirmation that, yeah, there's something here. And now we've proven it because now we have the physical. And yet there's a pullback, as I say. You definitely pull back. Both of you kind of, it happens, and there's a feeling here that you kind of pull back and say, hang on, and definitely maybe even put on the brakes a little bit. Just out of, because it's new territory. And again, yeah, there has been some pressure here that's been exerted. Now, this King of Wands that showed up over here, over that High Priestess, it's interesting because although your person does resonate with this kind of new finding their confidence energy, they have a strong vision. They do have a strong vision. They do come across with an alpha energy of knowing what they want, right? Having a vision for what they want. It's just that they're kind of at the beginning of this journey. So they don't lack for courage or passion or desire, or they know exactly what they want. They're not confused about that when it comes to what it is they desire for their life, their career, their art. And I feel like this also comes through here with the two of you. They're not confused about wanting you. I don't think there's ever really been any confusion here about the attraction between the two of you. If anything, there's been a blockage from the outside. So what's the animal spirit you're resonating with? Wow, golden egg. So the golden egg in this deck, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, is associated with the heart chakra. This is a beautiful animal spirit. It's actually associated with ether element, not air, fire, water, or earth, but ether, which is the element of the universe, right? And here we talk about the golden egg, warmth, resonating, a warm vibration of the heart chakra, opening up the heart, opening up your feelings. This is how you resonate through this whole connection. There is a desire here for you, on your part, for sure, that you want to feel your feelings. You want to open up to this person. You want to be free to sort of feel and communicate how your heart feels, how you feel. There's warmth here and healing, safety. There's a feeling of safety. The two of you feel safe when you're together. It's interesting what's connecting the two. Let me pull out. Wow, Hanged Man and the King of Cups. So many kings. We have an Emperor, now the King of Cups, Hanged Man and the King of Cups. The two of you may each be in a relationship. This is taking an interesting twist. Wow. The two of you indeed may be in your own relationships that neither of you are happy in. Hanged Man is really a stuck energy. King of Cups is there. This can be somebody who's holding you there who, yeah, it almost feels like there's a lot of people involved in this relationship. And for you, there's a feeling here that you may indeed be connected with someone who's resonating with that shadow of the King of Cups. King of Cups stuck energy. Someone is very possessive, very jealous, very domineering in the relationship, very childish, maybe a bit emotionally immature. You being kind of stuck here, suddenly this comes in. A feeling that your heart is not able to open up with this King of Cups in your life. There's a stagnation. This is where we get right away. It nicely leads into Spirit of the Fly, because you are part of a stagnation right now. So your next lover, this is an interesting pick a card pile, because your next lover is a friend, is someone you already know, who's coming in where the two of you have already been connected, and it's almost as if you're saving each other from others. You are in a stagnant situation. Spirit of the Fly, there's a rot and a decay here with this connection with this King of Cups in shadow. The Hanged Man is there, absolutely stuck, right? And yet, let's lead in to the werewolf spirit. There's untamed passion and desire here. So this is a forbidden love that I was talking about earlier. The two of you have a forbidden love that maybe nobody else knows about. This has gotten so juicy. Nobody else knows about. You may indeed even be in a relationship that at this point is loveless and stagnant, decayed. And yet there is a figure in both of your lives that both of you know that, if any of this got out, it would be such a taboo. It would be such a, oh my God. But the truth of the matter is that you two care about each other. There may have been some sneaking around. This is where we have that innovation. You may have been a little bit innovative with the way the two of you have hooked up before in the past. But I don't feel toxicity here. This is not a feeling of wanting to hurt anyone or wanting to be deceptive. There's a feeling here of you and or your person, more or less you, now it feels like with this King of Cups, and outside intrusion, outside eyes being sort of something that is constricting here, holding you down, holding you back from freedom and love with this person, where the two of you are really actually connected. Maybe friends involved, family. Maybe you know each other's families, and this would be such a huge falling out. Yes, there is definitely family involved. There's definitely roots involved, people involved who will say, no, we can't have this. So what does Spirit say about timing within the next few weeks if it hasn't happened already? Remember I said in the beginning, these readings are timeless. So whenever you come to this reading, it's meant for you, right? And so within the next few weeks, in your timeline, this physical intimacy may happen. All of this may come to a head for sure. Wow. What else can I say? I feel like this is a very, it's a layered reading. It's a juicy reading. But listen, you have to follow your heart. That heart chakra egg, that golden egg showed up because at the end of the day, where you feel happiest is with this creator, this person whom, as I said, you already know. So your next lover is leading to a happy relationship, a joyous relationship, or at least a relationship where your heart is able to communicate the way you want to. And really, the fly, Spirit of the Fly is there because it's time to rip away. And especially this person resonating with the creator, they have everything really the two of you need to find the solution out of this. Because it's exactly as I said in the beginning, in a situation where nobody else will be able to find a solution or find a way out, or is creative or curious enough to find a way out, your person, your next lover, the person you already know, has that energy. They're already an expert at that because that's who they are. And so they're going to be able to help you and them together find a way out of this stagnation, out of this pressure, this kind of constricted relationship, connection situation that you're in, and to really follow that desire that the two of you have for each other into the next stage, right? That's for the next reading. This has really been something. Let's go ahead and pull out your zodiac signs, see what zodiac signs you're dealing with. Some of you are dealing with that Libra, air sign of the Libra. Some of you are dealing with that Aries. Yes, Emperor energy is Aries. Some of you are dealing with that Scorpio. Yes, strong Scorpio energy. That may be that King of Cups. King of Cups is very strong scorpionic energy. Some of you, this person in your life may be a Scorpio, have Scorpio in their chart. Cancer, more strong water energy. Again, same again, could be this person resonating with some Cancerian Scorpionic energy. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This one was very interesting. This is the end of the message I have for pile number 3 for today's Pick a Card, Your Next Lover, Who, When, and How. Thank you so much. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, go ahead and let us know in the comments. But for right now, I wish you all love, life, and happiness. And I hope to see you right back here, Bow and Arrow Tarot, for your next Pick a Card Love Tarot reading. Bye-bye, everyone.